There used to be a time when people used to find out time to travel so that they can have a leisure time, they can relax, they can enjoy. But nowadays, things are changing because nowadays people are traveling to find themselves or to fulfill a purpose that they have chosen for themselves. Right now, I'm having a guest and I'm going to have a conversation with one such remarkable person. He is Dr. Singara Vadivel, an Indian born American technologist who, after 35 years of his service, is on a round the world bike trip. Welcome to Olive Singo Radio Network, sir. How are you?
Thank you so much, and I'm honored to be here.
First question is எப்படி இருக்குங்க சௌக்கியமா?
Thank you so much. நான் நல்லா இருக்கிறேன்.
Super, super, super. So, people who are watching us, who are listening to us, let me tell you, he is a Tamil speaking person. I'm not one, but I just felt like asking you this thing.
Absolutely.
I'm
Thank you,
in
sir.
awe of the language, so I couldn't resist myself from.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir. So, tell me something about your passion for this bike ride, for bike journey. How it started? What was the initial spark behind this passion?
Are you ready for a surprise?
I'm ready, sir.
All right. I'm not at all a biker.
Okay,
I have no passion at all.
fine, wow. But that is not how the media has portrayed you.
That's what the surprise is. So I have to go a little backward. I
Okay.
born in a very poor farm laborers family
Okay.
in a very small village near Rameshwaram. My parents are uneducated farm labor. I'm the elder son of 6 kids.
Okay.
I born in a mud house, and we had only elementary school, 5th grade, and we go to school just to get one-time meal. So that is the level of poverty.
Okay.
And I don't want to take a lot of time. My poverty, I'll put it in one word. I had my first chappal sandal when I went to Polytechnic. And then, so like everything is luxury in my childhood days.
Wow.
Having a 3-time meal itself a
Is a
struggle.
luxury.
That is the situation. But I refuse to accept my limitation. And I don't want my temporary setbacks or temporary situation to decide my destiny.
Wow.
Even those days, I got that. I hate to be poor. So I was exploring what is in my control, what options I have. That was education. So I decided to study. Study well, being disciplined, being simple is completely in my control. So I just focused on things on my control. The only thing is I had to beg for someone who can help me to pay the fee, buy food, books, and basic thing. So that's how my journey started. And I decided education will change my life. So long story short, with a lot of struggle, lot of kind-hearted people support and help, I finished diploma with a state third and BA honors with the university rank and ME high voltage with the university rank.
Wow.
So it looks like within one song the hero become a millionaire, right?
எல்லா புகழும் முருகன் ஒருவனுக்கு.
That journey is nothing but bare minimum struggle and survival.
Beautiful.
So in that situation, motorcycle is not something that I can think of. A person who having a shoe itself a luxury, motorcycle is ultra luxury.
Super
So
level,
I never
yeah.
thought about that. And then I was managed to go to US. It's a long story short. Another one song, become a billionaire now. So I finished my PhD. I got a job in my dream company, AT&T Bell Labs, as
Wow.
a scientist.
Yes, yes.
So you know that Bell Labs is the mother of all the technology that we
Yes.
are using today: digital telephony,
True.
wireless, semiconductor,
I
C
think
language.
it has a huge place in the computer science industry.
Everything, all
Yes.
the technology, the base is from Bell Labs.
Yes.
And I had a wonderful opportunity to be there as a small part. And most of the technology what we are using today, I have a signature here and there.
Wow.
So I was in a digital telephony, and I was in the wireless communication development and the telecom platform development, all those things. I worked with the team, Dr. Rick Cowell. He was a team lead of Dennis Ritchie, who developed the C language. So
Seriously?
yes.
Wow.
So that's a kind of journey, and I got it. But now you know that I managed to go to US. I got a job as a scientist working there, but my family situation is still same. None of my siblings went beyond 5th grade except my last brother, and they all become a farm laborers and still in the mud house, small, simple, humble thing. So now my next episode of my life started, that I had to take care of my family. So
Okay.
people always look at the height where you are now, but they have to remember the depth where you come from.
Exactly.
So when I reached the Silicon Valley, that itself a heck of the journey. People always say, "Did you meet Sundar Pichai? Did you meet Bill Gates? Did you meet Satya?" I tell them I saw them, but I never. They are in a very high level. I'm nothing. I'm a normal senior level thing. Oh, that's it. Okay, then I tell them I have no hesitation to claim my accomplishment is no way inferior than theirs because Sundar Pichai's father was an electrical engineer. He studied IIT Madras School. Satya's father was an IAS officer. My father was on a farm labor where I struggled a three-time meal, walked 12 kilometers on barefoot for a high school, reaching Silicon Valley itself a heck of the accomplishment.
True, true, true.
Not everybody can become a Sundar Pichai, not everybody become a Satya because there is only one Satya, one Sundar Pichai, but there are many people can become a Singara Vadivel. So that is the message I wanted to convey. So in this journey, I had to live a very simple life to take care of my family, three sisters, marriage, building house, blah blah, lot of things. So I was living paycheck to paycheck, again frugal life, bare minimum. Even after become a senior person in Silicon Valley technological company, I always give two examples how I lived in US. 35 years and I had never been to salon. I do my haircut by myself. Uh, it's purely economics. I saved 15 to $20,000 on haircut. That
Wow.
money goes to many poor children's uniform, school supply, and fee because some kind-hearted people helped me.
So you are
And
also.
exactly. And then I bought my new car, 1995 Toyota Corolla, and I drove that car till 2023,
Wow.
even after I become an executive senior person in Silicon Valley technological company. And people say this doesn't make sense. You are senior person, nobody will respect. I tell them if people judges me based on what I have, it's their problem, not my problem.
True.
Car is a mode of transport, not the status symbol. I always connect with my root where I come from. I walked to 12 kilometers for high school. Having a car itself a luxury. I don't need a brand or label.
True.
So that's the way. But there is the economy. The difference between a Camry and Corolla on fuel alone per year around $500.
Wow.
28 years, how much money I would have saved even if I have a Camry. That money helped many students become engineer, doctor, teacher training, and polytechnic people. So
Beautiful.
that's how I live a simple. In this journey, I didn't live my life at all. I was barely surviving. So by the time I got that kind of thought, I mid 40s. So then things are changed. I was settled. I started doing whatever I was missing, playing tennis, traveling national park, taking photograph, all these things, which used to be a luxury for me. Then motorcycle was one of them, which I never had a chance to ride. That's why I said I'm not at all a biker. I learned my motorcycle at the age of 50. Now I am 58.
Wow.
So after learning motorcycle, I took a spin in Tamil Nadu for 12 days. It was a stupid, bold thing, but there was a lot of close call, but I returned alive. But that changed my life because I find riding a bike is not adventure, not a sports, not a passion, not something that you need to prove anything to anybody. I find it is a therapy. It is a pure inner journey through outer journey. If you ride the bike wisely, you can make that riding process as a meditation. That's what I found. Then I
Wow.
went back to US, got the license, bought a big bike, went to small short ride, big ride, 1 week, 10 days, all these things. Then I sucked into. I find it, this is a wonderful way of getting a meditation. You know, this is like, paying to do something what you really liked it. Like,
Wow.
cricket players get a lot of money to play.
Yes.
What in kids when we are doing, when you have time, we play. But this guy is playing and getting money and fame.
Fame. Yeah.
That's how I find riding a bike is a wonderful opportunity to do a prolonged meditation, which is very difficult for us to do.
True.
So I made that, and that's how the whole journey started.
Wow. 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 I think this is the first time somebody has put it like this because whenever I had a conversation with a rider or a person who's in love with bikes, the thrill, the adrenaline rush is something that comes first. That is the front runner whenever you mention biking or riding. But associating this with meditation is some next level thing for
I
me.
have met many bikers club around the world during my journey. You know all the bikers,
True, true,
right?
true.
So they have a different expectation. They thought I'm one among them. But after my speech, they will say, today you introduce completely a different perspective of biking. And that's the response I get from everywhere I give a speech.
True,
So
true.
I'm not a biker, I'm not adventure, I'm not a passion on bike or something. I'm a traveler
Okay.
using motorcycle as a therapy, and it is an inner journey through outer journey.
Wow,
I'm
wow.
barely a survivor.
Beautiful, beautiful. Which bike do you
I
ride?
have a BMW R1250 GSA.
Okay. So
It's
I
a
can
heavy
I can
bike.
I can actually call you a monk who bought a BMW
Yeah, monk who sold the Ferrari.
to buy a BMW.
The monk who bought the BMW.
Yes, something like that.
See, my when I started my journey, people ask, "What is your goal? What is your objective?" I have met many bikers. They have a label: traveling for world peace and traveling for world hunger. I'm global warming. So I asked them in a very sarcastic way, "Sir, you are traveling for global warming? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, fantastic. What do you do?" I plant trees. Oh, really nice. How many trees you have planted? I have 185 trees around the world. Fantastic, sir. That's good enough to take care of the world carbon emission. How much, you know, how much emission that your bike is traveling by emitting? So people have a different
Yes.
objective. I find it that is not very impactful. So I'm traveling just for me. It is an inner journey through outer journey.
Wow.
So, okay, what is really meaning? So my goal is, my personal objective of this ride is, தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன், அடையாளத்தை தொலைத்து ஆத்மாவாகு. What does that mean? Destroy your identity, be a soul. So
Wow.
that is my objective. Okay, what does that really mean? So you know that I'm a kid who walked on barefoot, struggled to have even 3-time meal, suddenly become Dr. Singara Vadivel. I have written 6 books, and my first book was nominated for Sahitya Academy. My
Wow.
third book won the Tamil Nadu State Award, and I have a book on meditation Buddhism, which
Okay.
is on Amazon.
Wow.
So now I become an author. And then I have given speech and lectures at more than 70 universities. I work as a scientist, so I'm a scientist and technologist, and then a speaker, motivation. I got a lot of identity. So in life, without we realize that the identity gets into your
Head.
head, and then it creates a personality, and then the way you look at the world, the way you look at your perceive, everything become a different, because I'm elite, I'm exclusive, I'm different. And then you create the rules. This is the way I do, this is what I expect, this is what I think. Then you have a self of a phantom identity, and we are not realizing it. And then one day we are dying with living the entire life with a phantom identity. So I wanted to get rid of that. So
Wow.
now my goal is அடையாளத்தை தொலை ஆத்மாவாக. So how do you do it? By riding a motorcycle. So I come up with a plan. I beg for, except my motorcycle and my laptop, I have nothing. I have 2 shirts, 1 pant. You can see in all social media
Yes.
with my ministers meeting, radio interview, TV interview, university speech. This is the only dress I have. Nothing else. Except my bike, except my laptop, I have nothing. Everything bare minimum. I beg for food. I beg for place to sleep. I mean it. So a lot of time, especially Indian community, they show the hospitality and humble, but it's not always positive. There are times where people insult me, ignore me, they really hurt you. That is the process that I use to transform myself, to destroy the ego and to transform yourself to the true identity of being. So
Wow.
that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing very well on that. I've been through wonderful hospitality. I've been through that unbearable insult also. I don't consider good or bad experience. Everything I consider as an experience.
Experience.
That's it. If it is good, I enjoy. If it is bad, I take it as a wonderful tool to transform yourself from the illusory identity to the true yourself. That is my personal objective. At end of the journey, I don't know whether I'll get enlightened or not. My goal is to become Singara Vadivel, a being, a humble, simple, sympathetic, empathetic human being. That's my personal goal, nothing else.
Beautiful.
And then the social goal, I had a 35 years of Silicon Valley experience where I started with the assembly language, reached out to the algorithm development for my AI. That technical knowledge, I share it wherever I can unconditionally. I don't need money, I don't need recognition, I don't need anything. So everywhere, this 25 months journey, I have given speech at 29 universities, both the technical and motivational, because my life itself a very, very impactful story.
True, true,
I
true.
don't need Alexander, I don't need Napoleon, I don't need a Thomas Edison. I use me. That's it. So I touched many, 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 many thousands of students in this journey who are in the brink of giving it up. So I use my story to inspire. I have given speech at more than 135 enterprises, leadership development, motivation, even technology. I have met 19 government ministers from 15 countries. I propose a project that empowering the society by digitalization and the e-governance by AI. So that is a proposal. It is getting a lot of attention.
Attention.
And many communities, Tamil, Malayalam, even African community, I give them where there is a division. I emphasize the unity and the simpleness and the kindness. Another thing, I just use my own experience. I just share my thing, nothing else. So that is my social objective. Wherever I get a platform, I use it. I do it sincerely. Sometimes I bore people. You are supposed to ask question, but you are quietly listening. This is my weakness.
No, no, no. The best thing about this conversation is that before starting this conversation, I had certain questions in my mind. So whenever you are going to have a conversation with a rider or a biker, as you know, there is a, as you say, algorithm. The mind works in such a way that you come up with certain set of questions. But when you told me the intent behind this riding, and for one thing that I can make out of it is that for you it's more of a spiritual journey, and from spiritual journey, and when you look at things from a spiritual point of view, as you rightly mentioned, if good happens, you're happy, you're okay, good. If something bad happens, you take it as a learning experience. Everything you look at it is an experience. There's no good and no bad. And for the first time in my life, I'm actually having a conversation, or I'm listening to something like this. So my mind is like, just listen. This is something you can, learn. Just sit, listen, and learn. That is why I was, concentrating on your words, and I was contemplating what a journey, what a journey.
Anything with the expectation, the disappointment is waiting for you.
True.
If you go with the open-minded, there is no disappointment. The depth of the expectation will bring the intensity of the disappointment. So that's one thing I learned. So I totally go with the open mind. And in my journey, there is no judgment. There is no expectation.
Beautiful.
People ask, what is your best country? What is your best experience? As soon as I rate one as the best, unintentionally, I am bringing others down. As soon as you say something good, unintentionally you are saying something bad compared to that. So I'm not here to judge or anything. I just go open-minded, accept it, resist nothing. Take everything as it is, process it, enjoy, or use it as an opportunity to transform.
Beautiful.
That's it.
I have one doubt. As you said, when you label something as good, there is bad. We can see that through all these years, life exists in duality. There is a duality of anything you can take. But as you mentioned, you go with an open mind. So there is no good, no bad. It's just an experience. But don't you think that's a bit difficult to do? For example, I can listen to it, I can contemplate it. But when it comes to applying it, how does a person does that? Like I want to go into the nitty-gritties of this thought process.
Absolutely. People are thinking, oh, this is too philosophical. This is not practical. Yes, I agree. We are not living in Himalayan caves. We are living a cutthroat, competitive world. You know what we are chasing after? Money, fame, and power. Anything else? No.
Nothing.
That's what everybody is going that. We think if I have enough money, I'm safe, I'm secured. And then once you have enough money, there are a lot of rich people, but still they are running after something. What is that something?
Power.
Even people who have a power, they have to struggle to hold on to them.
Yes.
And then the fame automatically. So eventually, these three is driving the whole humankind. You know the secret? The right amount of wealth will work for you. The excess wealth, you will be slave to protect them. It is not at all doing anything for you. But we don't realize that. What we are doing is, you need a food, a nice house, even you have a private jet, whatever you want, have it. When you have more money, what is that money is doing? It is sitting in the bank or as an asset, and you wanted to protect them. You are indirectly slave to protect the money which has zero value. So the right amount of wealth will work for you. The excess amount of wealth, you will be slave for it. But we don't realize it. When you have this kind of mindset, that brings all the thing, the supportive justification. That's what, there will be good, there will be a rating, there will be a best. You have all these things, worldly thing. There is no absolute. Everything is reference. There is, how do you call he's a rich guy? Whoever you call rich guy, he will be poor compared to somebody else. So the same rich become a poor. What happened?
Frame of reference changes.
Exactly. Anything is not absolute, it is wrong. If you can compare with an absolute, that is the correct valuation. If anything is a reference, that is completely
It is
not
relative,
right.
it changes.
That's what it is.
Wow. Beautiful.
So when you go with open-minded, because when we are living in a mind-conditioned state, everything look difficult. We had to break. Sometimes sharp surgery is needed. We need to be really hard on the ego, the mind. Mind is a wonderful tool, but once you let the mind run your life, it becomes a very extreme bad servant. But we don't realize that.
And how do you do that? Like, there must be something that worked out for you. Writing is something like that.
Based on my own life journey, I said that I'm nothing. I'm a very simple guy. I always tell people I'm a pointer. Don't focus on me. I don't need recognition. I don't need a glorification or spotlight or fame. I have something based on my own goof of stupidity, mistakes. I learned something, I share it. You don't have to do the same mistake. That's what I was looking for. Never focus on the pointer.
Focus on the
Focus on the
direction.
object the
Yes.
pointer is pointing to.
At. Yes.
But in life, that's not we are doing. We always focus on the pointer. So you asked, how do you do that? So based on my own life journey, I summarize I think 5 points. Never let your situation decide the destiny.
Okay.
Your destiny is something irrespective of who you are right now. That's what it is. If I let my situation dictate it, I would have been a farm labor in India by now. Or even after BE, I may have an electricity board electrical engineer with maybe some money, with all the corruption, everything. I may have a house and a couple of kids, and that's it. But I never let my situation decide what is my destiny. Number one. Number two, never focus on the things which you don't have control. If I have this, if I know this, my parents poor, I don't have that, blah blah. There will be always something which you don't have. Look bigger. Look what you have. Focus on the things which is in your control. So being a disciplined, simple, and hard worker was in my control. That's what my childhood things dictated me, and that really helps me who I am right now. And then never afraid to fail. I didn't tell you, Polytechnic first year I got 4 arrears because everything was Tamil medium.
And now in English.
And then suddenly English, and it was overwhelming. I failed 4. I thought everything is over. I finished Polytechnic with a state third.
Wow.
So never afraid to fail. Failure is not a problem. How you take the failure is the biggest problem.
Okay.
The lessons that you can learn only from failure, not from success. So failure is the wonderful, wonderful Zen master where you can really learn. So I had a lot of failure in my life. I learned so much from failure. Number 4, be a warrior. Having a wish without effort is called greediness. A lot of people have wish, I could do, I do this, I do that. But that's called greediness. Be a warrior. In this journey, except death, I have faced every problem you can imagine. I had several accidents. I got arrested. My bike broke. Food poisoning, malaria, several times near-death experience. I stuck with a terrorist. I got military detention. My, I have end up with like a very bad road, mob, riots. You just name it. Everything I have answered for yes. And today I'm here. I'm really honored to have a conversation with you. That is not coming easy. So if you really wanted to do, be a warrior.
Warrior.
Last point, never forget the route where you come from. I walked 12 kilometers. I never forget. So every time when I really face problem, 2 days, 3 days ago, when I crossed from UAE, I reached the Saudi border late night. I couldn't able to find a place to sleep. I thought I can sleep on the gas station, petrol station. They said no. I was going around, going around. Finally, I sneak into a mosque. I set up my tent. I slept there. I didn't eat anything. And the family where I hosted me, they gave me a curd rice. So I eat that in the late night. I slept. Morning, I brushed and used the toilet and ran away. I didn't have water, even water. I came all the way with 4 border crossing because exit Saudi, Dubai, entry Saudi, exit Saudi, enter Qatar.
Qatar.
That's a long, complicated process traveling with the bike, a lot of paperwork.
True.
So I came here completely exhausted. Every time when I feel I'm down, I connect with my root where I come from. Compared to that journey, this is nothing.
That is the source of energy.
That's my secret, what I'm doing today.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know, as you mentioned, I also believe in one phrase called the game is not over until it's over. So, as you said, you have to be a warrior. And you also mentioned 4 other points also. And one thing in your life that you feel like this is something that is left that I want to achieve. Is there anything like that? Or are you satisfied with everything that you got?
As you said, I had a lot of attempt to travel the spiritual journey with whatever I know, everything. But this journey completely transformed. I mean, the person who started 25 months ago from Texas is no more. So that's what, and those life I had, what I'm missing, what is my goal, what is the list, what all these things. But now I started living the present. All I have is now. And the poor RJ stuck with me. I'm boring you.
No, no, no,
That's
no.
all I have.
Not at
I
all.
don't even think about what is the evening program. I
This
just do
moment.
it at this moment. I never bring the past agony and future anxiety get into my presence. So life is not something that you have to prove or you have to win. It is not a race. It is a life live peacefully and free. The uttermost goal is I don't want to do anything in this world the rest of my life which cost my freedom and peace of mind. No
Wow.
matter what it is, nothing is worth. I never give up. The most powerful thing that everybody should look for is having a freedom and the peace of mind. Nothing in this world is worth.
More important, yeah.
People tell when I'm riding, oh, you are traveling like a Ajit, you are traveling like a Sadhguru. I feel bad. Please don't compare me with them. They may be a better rider, but I'm a better traveler because there is nothing they can do nearer what I'm doing it. Because Ajit cannot travel whatever he wanted to do. I have the freedom. I may not be a fame, but he got the fame
But
by
he lost
paying the freedom.
Yes.
I'm not fame, but I have a freedom.
Wow.
Nobody can recognize me. Wherever I go that. That is more valuable, more powerful. I don't need to be in the social media. I don't need fame. I don't need any recognition from outside because I started living, having a connection with my being. That is a
Wow.
wonderful companion in this world.
Beautiful.
And that's it.
Nice. That also reminds me of a movie dialogue which says that travel as much as you can, but once in a while go back to your roots. And I started this whole podcast with the statement that nowadays traveling is not just a leisure activity; it is a tool through which people find themselves. as you mentioned in your experience, that you're not the same person who started this ride 25 months ago. It fundamentally rewired your brain, it rewired yourself, and it gave you a goal that, identity should be destroyed, soul should remain. That is beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I didn't create anything new.
It was already there.
It was there, but it was covered with the worldly noise and the worldly loads. We were carrying too much on our head. What I did was I started stripping away.
Layer by
That's
layer.
it, layer by layer. It became a light, and the whole self started
Emerging.
exposing, and you started looking at the people as a human being, not as a janitor, not as a president. I have met vice presidents, I have met many, many government ministers. I have met a simple, humble labor level. For me, everybody is same,
Same.
nothing else. That is, once you started removing the layer, the way you look at things will be complete, the perspective will completely change. And people ask, um, maybe if I have time I'll tell the route quickly.
Yes, please, please.
And I started from Texas, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama, all the Central American country. Then I have to airlift once from Panama to Colombian capital Bogota, because
Bogota,
the
yes.
Darien Gap. From Bogota, I wanted to go to Venezuela, but I couldn't able to go due to the geopolitical situation. I have a US passport. Then I end up with going from Colombia to Ecuador, Ecuador to Peru. But I wanted to go to the Suriname, French Guyana, and Guyana, the northeastern corner.
Yes.
The only way to go to those countries by road is through Venezuela, because the entire Amazon area region, no roads.
Yes.
So, but I don't want to give up. I put a lot of effort. I really wanted to go. So I took a drastic thing that nobody can even imagine.
Good.
So I took 7 cargo boats to travel the entire Amazon River from Andes Mountain all the way to Macapa, where it connects with Atlantic Ocean, nearly 6,000 kilometers, 45 days, 7 cargo boats, 3 countries with the bare minimum. Your co-passengers are cow, pig, chicken, cement bag, PVC, some people, everything bare minimum. 1960s, 70s boat. No language, no internet, no
Nothing.
television. You and the dark Amazon forest sky, beautiful sunrise and sunset, occasional pink dolphin, the
Wow.
river, the jungle. That's it. I don't think many people can handle it, but it is a wonderful opportunity. It was tough. That's a Guinness record, but I said I don't need, because I'm trying to get rid of my identity. I don't want to get another identity, Guinness record holder. I don't need. So that's how I went. French Guyana, Suriname Guyana, then returned back to Brazil, travel all the way south to Iguazu Falls. From there I went to Paraguay. Through Chaco Desert, I went to Bolivia. Bolivia back to Argentina. Argentina to Uruguay. Uruguay back to Argentina. Then started
Chile.
traveling to the Patagonia all the way to Antarctica, the last city of the world, Ushuaia. I got an accident. I broke my shoulder. I was in ICU for a few weeks, and 2 weeks I didn't have vision. I can't even balance. I lost my balance. So 99.9%, no, 100% of people would have quit that. Remember I said, be a warrior.
Yes.
So I decided to continue. As soon as I was able to see, I was able to stand up. I rode 4,000 kilometers to capital of Chile, Santiago, with a broken motorcycle, broken shoulder, -5 degree temperature. I fixed my bike, and then I decided to continue. Ship the bike to Europe, Madrid, Spain, and then Portugal, cross the Gibraltar Bay, enter into Africa, Morocco, my first country. Cross the entire Sahara, lot of difficulties. Mauritania, Morocco, Western Sahara, Mauritania, Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Mali, Burkina Faso, Togo, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, R Congo, D Congo, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, Swaziland, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya. 37 African country. From there, I shipped the bike to Salalah, Oman. From Oman, I came all the way up to UAE, and now I'm through Saudi. I'm in Qatar. This is my 62nd country.
Next destination?
I want to go to Bahrain, Kuwait. Iraq may be a challenge right now. I don't know. My objective is to go to all countries possible.
Okay.
So not every country is possible. So I have few criteria to skip. Like if it is too expensive to go there, or the logistic is too difficult, or the safety problem, I'll skip. Other than that, I wanted to go every country possible.
As much as you can.
Yes.
So when are you going to India?
It may take another year or year and a half. So my route is after Middle East, I'll go into Africa through Turkey, Bulgaria. Then I complete all European country. Then Asia, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, all
Central
these things.
Asia,
Central Asia. Then even India, Sri Lanka. Then come to Myanmar, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Indonesia. Then Timor, and then go to Australia, and then ship the bike to Canada, go to Alaska, come back to Texas. So that will cover the world, both Antarctica. I've been to Antarctica and then Alaska. That's my goal.
Wow. So is there any timeline that you have set in mind? Okay, by this time I have to end this trip?
Yeah, that's a good question. So at this point, I have no agenda, no schedule, no plan. Just go along the flow.
Go with the flow. I can't tell you, doctor, how intrigued and humbled I am. Because, as you said, whenever you come with some preset notions, to be honest, I did not have any disappointment. It feels like I have peeled off a layer. This conversation has peeled off a layer, and I'm looking at things from a different perspective. The way you were telling your story, the way you were telling about your struggles, initially I thought, okay, we will have some adrenaline pumping conversation. But the moment I realized, no, it is much deeper than that. It is more profound. There's so much wisdom that you have through all these years, through all these experiences. And that is the basic difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge you can gain. Wisdom comes from within. Absolutely. It comes from your experiences. And you gave a lot of beautiful lessons, countless lessons in these few minutes that we had a conversation. I don't know how much time we took to have this conversation. I haven't looked at my phone. I haven't looked at my watch. To be honest, I lost the track of time. I was like, okay, please talk. I'm in such an awe of your journey that, the only thing that I can do is this.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Remember, I warned you. That is my weakness. Because when people ask about the traditional way, I can't do that because it will become a message.
Yes.
I'm not traveling or doing anything just for a message. I want to create an impact, if possible. Beautiful. So that's why I take a lot of time. That's my weakness. My apology.
As I said, timing is not an issue. I really had a beautiful conversation with you. Thank you so much for this profound and insightful journey that you shared with me.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled and honored to have this platform. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.